guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Frankie and I create videos on lifestyle development and faith. Today we're going to be talking about how I decided to choose my university and my course. What were the steps that I took to make that decision? What inspired me to make that decision? And this is because I've got quite a lot of questions under my University of Birmingham video on how I made the decision to study at Birmingham. So I'm hoping that this video would help you guys when it comes to making your own decisions. And like I said, my experience may not be your experience. So you guys have to pick the university that is best for you. I can't choose that for you. I can't tell you where to go, but I can only share what I experienced. So let's get into this video. So for my undergraduate studies, I decided to choose the University of Birmingham and I did a double honours degree. I did history and political science. Okay, so let's talk about why I decided to do history and political science. So before picking this course, I was stuck between studying law and politics, studying PPE, and anything to do with basically politics, history and law. I was really stuck, and at the time I don't think you could really do a course with law, history and politics, so I was like, okay, that's out of question for me. So what I did do then was kind of narrow it down what kind of combination I wanted to do, and I knew that I wanted to do a degree that had multiple subjects, so I was never just going to study history or just politics. I did like the idea of mixing two disciplines together. So anyway, I wanted to do law and I was kind of intrigued in it, but what I did was I went to an insight day at Oxford University and I went to a law course, and I found that lecture boring. I found it boring, honestly. I said to myself, this cannot be 3 years for me, just sitting in a lecture that I'm not enjoying, that I don't feel engaged in. So that already took law out of question for me. So then it made it simpler for me to kind of pick history and politics. Now, history and politics were both subjects that I was really good at because I did A-levels in history and politics, in government and politics. So they were subjects that I was familiar with. So making that decision wasn't hard for me. It was more about the narrowing down. I had so many combinations of double honours degrees that I could choose from. It was just about narrowing what was best suited to me, and I could only make that decision once I'd actually gone to insight days, and it really helps me kind of know that, okay, maybe law isn't for me. Not ruling out a career in law, but maybe doing an undergraduate degree in law, maybe that isn't the route that I should take. So that's how I came to make history and politics the course that I decided to study. And like I said, I enjoyed both subjects and I didn't want to have to pick between them because I love them both. So I thought, let me just do a double honours degree. Now, how I went about picking the university was different. So I had a friend who went to a university in Birmingham and she really loved the city and really enjoyed it. So I think her older sister went and she really enjoyed it and loved it, and she gave such positive feedback about it, and I was intrigued. I was like, okay, maybe that'll be great. And so I was kind of excited about that idea. And also I didn't want to go to a university in London. I live in London, so I wanted to explore a different city. I wanted a different environment. I wanted to have a bit more independence. So I was looking more at unis that were outside of London. And the University of Birmingham was a campus uni, which was something that I really wanted. Because I was going to another city, I wanted a university that was quite accessible and easy to use, that I wouldn't really struggle to find my way around the university, even though the University of Birmingham's campus is massive. But I wanted something or a university where everything was in one place. And so with that being said, I decided to pick the University of Birmingham because it was best suited to me. They did history and politics as a course. I heard good reviews from other people about the university, and it was also a campus-based university. It was also a Russell Group university, and it had quite a good position in the university league tables. These were kind of the thoughts that were going through my head, and that's why I picked the University of Birmingham. Now, when it came to my master's, it was a bit different. So for my master's degree, I picked LSE, King's College London and the University of Birmingham. Now, the reason why I picked 2 London universities is because a master's degree is very, very expensive, and I think at the time, is it up to 11,000? I'm not too sure, is what you get from the government for a master's degree. So it's kind of like student loan for postgraduate studies, and for me, that 10,000 wouldn't be enough to cover the course and just like the resources that I would need to go to the university, or travel expenses. And also, if you decided to live away from your home, then obviously living costs you'd have to think about that as well. So that kind of ruled out and limited my options for me. I picked University of Birmingham because I did really enjoy the university, and there was also something called, I think it's an alumni scholarship, something of the sort, where you could get some money towards the degree. But yeah, so there was those were the things that were going through my head at the time. Anyway, I got offers from the University of Birmingham, King's College London, and I was put on the waiting list for LSE. So yeah, I decided to go with King's College London because I wasn't on a waiting list. They had a full acceptance, and I couldn't afford to kind of live outside of my house and then pay living costs and all of that. So I decided to go for King's College London. And also King's College London, I don't know, I just really like the university as well. That was one of the reasons why I picked King's College in the first place as one of my 3 options, because King's College London is just such a nice university, and it's amazing. Like, I really loved and enjoyed that university. The reason why I picked my course, which was, I think, contemporary history and politics, or politics contemporary history, whatever you want to call it, the reason why I picked that course is, again, I enjoy both history and politics, and I wanted to be a specialist in my field. I wanted to get that in-depth knowledge and understanding, and the modules were fantastic. The module options at King's was amazing. Like, we had courses where they were working with different government, in partnership with different government departments. We had politicians speak at our lectures, so it was quite inspiring and amazing. So there was a lot of reasons as to why I picked King's. King's has a good reputation. It's well known on the league table as well, for being an excellent university. And so, and in combination with the fact that I needed to live at home, I wanted to kind of reduce living expenses and costs, it just fit my requirements. So that's why I picked King's College London and contemporary history and politics as my postgraduate degree. Now, this is very brief about what led me to make these decisions, and so I want to kind of generalize it and open it up to you guys so that you guys can understand how to maybe think about your university and how to make that decision for yourself. First of all, you've got to think about, do you want to live at home or do you want to live away from home? Like, you've got to think of that first. Once you've made that decision, you've got to look at your grades and the university as well. So with my grades, is there a prospect of me being able to get into this university, or is there not the prospect of that? Then you want to look at the university modules and the courses. Okay, now that I've got the university, the course that I want to study, do they have great modules at this university? Do they have a variety of modules? What do the modules look like? What's the grade breakdown? How do they assess me? I think that's so important as well. If you're someone who doesn't like exams, then going to a university that does 100% exams may not be for you. So those are things you want to also consider. What you want to consider as well is the social life, the social aspect. Will I be able to have an enjoyable social life here? What are the living costs like in this university or in the area surrounding? Is it affordable for a student to live in? These are some of the ideas that you should be thinking about before making the decision, because they're all important. But I would say do what you think is best for you, but consider things, think about it properly, because, you know, this is a big decision, you know, going to a university. You want to make sure that you go to a university that you're going to enjoy and that you're going to like learning there. You're also going to enjoy the environment. So these are just some of the ideas that I thought about as well, and I think you should think about when you're going to the university. I think, you know, you should attend virtual open days, speak to students. If you know a friend that has an older brother or sister, you know, ask your friend, what does your older brother or sister think about this university? How was their experience? You know, just gain insight and information from as much people as you can so that you can make a quite informed decision. But ultimately, you've got to think about what's best for you and what are the most important things for you. For some people, the most important thing for them might be the module, the course, and the distance. For some people, it could be social life, module, and whether it's a Russell Group university or not. For different people, they're going to have different priorities and different things that they deem to be more important than the other. So that's why it's such a personal decision, and that's why I'm not able to be like, you should go here, you should go there, because I made the decision based on what I like and what my preference was, and hence why I've been able to enjoy my experience and enjoy university life, because I made a decision for myself. So I'm encouraging you guys, do your research, use the resources that are available, watch YouTube videos, speak to people, go to the virtual open days, read their prospectus, read the module breakdowns, read how they're going to assess you, because these things will ultimately allow you to make an informed decision about the university that you want to go to. Anyway, well, I hope this kind of brief video about how I decided my university helps you guys, and I hope that it's giving you a bit more clarity as to how I made that decision, and maybe how possibly you may want to consider what you may deem to be important for your choice of university. But yeah, again, thank you so much guys for watching my video. Thank you for liking, comment and subscribing, and see you in my next one. Okay guys, bye.